Welcome back to New Day. Our weather has definitely taken a turn, and it has me craving warm and cozy dishes that I can whip up at home, or at least try. Our next guest has a quick but elegant recipe that is sure to wow your dinner guests. Kevin Benner is executive chef at Cedar and Elm, located inside the lodge at St. Edward. Welcome to New Day.
Thank you for having me.
We are making duck today, which I've never made before, and I'm very excited. But first, tell me a little bit more about what we're making.
Yep, so we're doing seared duck breast with stir-fried quinoa, some seasonal Brussels sprouts, and it's going to have an orange and endive sauce for it.
Endive sauce. Okay, interesting. I've never had that. All right, let's get started. Where do we begin?
We'll start by seasoning the duck breast, and then
Okay.
we'll get it going in this pan over here. So just a little bit of salt on this guy.
And why is duck maybe such a savory and seasonal food?
Duck for me is kind of one of my favorite fall birds because it's a little bit more gamey than chicken, but it's also still fairly lean, so it's a fun one to have for like lunch or even a nice light dinner.
I like a lean meat myself, so I'm excited to try it. And you put the skin side down.
Skin side down, and I'll just keep it on there and let it cook most of the way with the skin side down.
Okay, so what do we do next while that's cooking?
Next, we're going to start our stir fry.
All right.
Make sure our pot's hot.
I like how you changed that.
Yeah, right.
That's
Make
how
sure.
chefs do it. Okay.
We'll turn that up, and
Okay.
then we'll do the rest of the oil in there.
Got it.
Some olive oil. And then we'll start with our Brussels sprouts.
Okay,
And
all
throw
of them?
No, let's do like half.
Okay, half. I can do that.
You can do that.
All right. These are seasonal too, right?
They are, yep.
That's probably more than half, but
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, lots of Brussels is good.
okay. And then we put.
Yeah, so we're gonna stir fry the Brussels sprouts just a little bit once
Okay.
those get going.
Let them get
Just so I
moving.
can put my hand on it. Go.
Don't get burned.
I won't get. Well, I'll try.
Okay. I will try not to burn you too because I have been known to.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
No,
I'll
it's fine. Just
you
my
can
coworkers,
finish it.
not another chef.
Oh, okay.
Chef. Okay.
Just your coworkers.
All right. So while that is getting nice and crispy, and I love like the little crisp you get sometimes on a Brussels sprout.
Yeah,
when
you
do
want
a
to get
stir
those
fry.
going good
Okay.
first before you throw the quinoa in, but it's almost, once it's going, it's ready to go.
Okay. So seasonal ingredients are a really big part of the way you prepare food, right? At Cedar and Elm.
Yeah, they are. They're. It's fun to write menus that way because you can really get a lot of fresh produce that way. Everything tastes better. Everything's more local. And then it also kind of feeds your soul as far as, you know, if you're eating to the seasons, then it's healthier for you. You kind of get the comfort food in the wintertime, and in the spring and summer you get like salads and fresher ingredients that are sometimes raw, not necessarily cooked. So.
Well, eating how the earth wants you to eat.
Yep.
Heaven forbid we do that.
We don't want to do that.
The other thing that's really important, I think, that we've read about to you and to Cedar and Elm is cooking with gratitude. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, of course. I think it kind of goes back to the seasonal eating. It's all these ingredients and things like that, and the vegetables and the fruits that we have, they've all been kind of like fawned over and painstakingly grown for us. And so every time that we play with these ingredients, it's always important to remember that we might be the final step in the process, but that's kind of what we are. There's a lot of other steps that go into creating produce like this.
Right.
And so it's nice to cook that way. It feels right.
I agree. I know these Brussels sprouts are taking a while, but in the interest of saving time, what would we add next?
Well, let's just throw the quinoa in right now. We're all right. It's just
all of
cooking.
it? Or half?
Yeah, throw all of it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's in there? It looks like there's some little crispy bits in there.
Yeah, so the quinoa, that when I stir fry it, I'll cook the quinoa first. So you just boil it with some water or some stock.
Okay.
And then you'll put it in the fridge uncovered and let it just dry out.
Oh, nice.
So I threw some sage in there while it was drying out.
Oh, I love sage. Okay. I didn't want to use a fork when you're fancy.
Stir that around.
So. All right. Yes, chef.
Thank
Okay.
you. Appreciate it.
I told you I'd be a good sous chef.
So I'm just checking the duck right now for the skin.
And with duck, you need to make sure that it's cooked well, right?
I kind of like a medium rare duck breast.
Okay.
Myself. But it's nice to cook the fat out of it. So that's why you start on the fat side and you continue to render it so that you don't have a bunch of chewy fat on top.
Yeah, no, you don't want to. You don't want to do that. All right. So what else do we add to the Brussels sprouts?
That Brussels sprouts you're stir frying with the quinoa. We can take the soy sauce, and I have some ginger chopped up in there.
This
that
is
one
it?
right
Okay.
there. Yep.
All
And
of
you
it?
Dump that all in there. Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
Listen to that sizzle.
And stir that around.
Okay. I love all the flavor profiles of this. The quinoa, the ginger, the Brussels sprouts. Like, these are not things I would have thought to add together.
Yeah, ginger and duck are a great combination. Also, ginger is kind of a warming root, so it's nice to have in the fall. So that's stir fried, and then we can just throw some fresh herbs in there. I brought some basil and sage with me.
Ooh, do we break it up? Throw it
Yeah,
in?
just kind of pull it right off the stem and throw it right in there.
Okay. While we're doing this, let's talk about the ambiance of the restaurant. I know it's in a very historic location. It's got to feel really neat to be able to create this food and then have the ambiance to go with it.
Yeah, it is a beautiful location in the St. Edward's Park there. And so beautiful grounds and fully restored mission that we're cooking from. So it's really inspiring, actually.
What else are you doing at Cedar and Elm right now?
I brought a couple of my favorites right now. We're doing a Spanish octopus with chard bok choy, mustard relish, and there's some braised greens in there, and then there's a beet mustard underneath. And then I also brought a pasta that we do, a vegan pasta, which is lumaki, chestnuts, a pesto, and smoked pumpkin underneath.
I was hoping that was a chestnut. I'm really excited. I'm actually going to have to try that. I know we're still cooking the duck, so I have to try this real quick. Because you never get chestnuts in food anymore, and this is definitely like comfort food. So. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's like fall in my mouth.
Good.
This is so good. Okay, you're gonna have to go over to Cedar and Elm to try his food. Thank you so much, Chef. I appreciate it. All right, well, coming up next. 1 second. Okay, now we can make it begin.